Hi, I'm Mrs. Republican Jesus.
And I'm Mr. Republican Jesus.
And today we're talking about the concept that all men are misogynist, i.e., that all men like to be in charge of their household and want to be able to beat their wife with impunity whenever they feel like it, and can control women's lives entirely, including, where she can go and who she can talk to, and ban her from social media entirely.
Yeah, shush, women, we get the point. Those are not even misogyny, that is just basic common sense. And I have actually performed a rigorous scientific study. I asked 3 guys at the yacht club whether they agreed. Obviously we didn't want to ask any women because they don't count. And all of us agreed completely that we should have complete control over all women everywhere. And so with this most thorough science, I am owning the liberals with science.
Take that, Liz. And hello, I'm Mistress Werewolf.
And I'm Mr. Red, and this myth is one that is extremely pervasive, partially because so many guys will choose to take the path of least resistance and just silently nod along to misogynist statements that they just don't believe in. Miss Werewolf has a really good explanation of why, so do you want to continue?
Yeah, first of all, if you want to look at the blog, anonymous surveys have been done on how many men actually agree with core misogynist ideology, such as, is it okay to raise your hand against your female partner, and should a man be in charge in a relationship, or should it be more 50-50? And the result that you get from these anonymous studies, one of them was done by Harvard, is that it's approximately 33% or 1/3 of men that agree with core misogynist ideologies, and the other 2/3 don't. And of course the majority of women are against misogynist ideology for very obvious reasons. So it is the majority of us who disagree with misogynists. Having said that, misogynists are extremely good at manipulating situations. So if you've I don't know if you've ever looked at the Ask Aubrey Twitter page, that shows a lot of screenshots from Reddit as to how misogynists speak to each other online in their echo chambers. They're very good at coming up with, mind games and tricks as to how to control women and control the people around them so that their misogynist ideology can stand firm, even though the majority actually disagree with them. And one of their favourite methods is DAVOing, deny, attack, reverse victim offender. And unfortunately, Mr. Red and I found this out through lived experience. Even when there's a group of friends who seemingly identify as LGBTIQ friendly and say that they agree with feminism, such people can be manipulated into taking the misogynist side through the concept of, I stick up for my friends, even when they're wrong. And this was a big thing in my generation, Gen Y, which is, I stick up for my friends even when they're wrong. I'm a little fighter. And the misogynist can use that to essentially make you stand up for their misogynist behaviour. They will deny the behaviour, even though, it happened in front of many witnesses. They will attack the person who confronts them. And very successfully reverse victim offender. Essentially in our lived experience, I found myself bullied online for months for standing up against, some very clear misogynist behaviour. And this is very similar to what narcissists do. In terms of there being that feminist concept that even if not all men are misogynists, they benefit from misogyny because it lowers the standards on men overall, and men should be standing up to other men about misogyny, if they want to have any credibility with feminists, etc., etc. That all is great in theory, but the reality that you're dealing with is that misogynists are basically online every day with their fellow misogynists, figuring out how to play the best mind games and how to control women and control everyone around them. And they will manipulate you. They will, successfully use premises like I stick up for my friends even when they're wrong, and they will use that to essentially make you take their side when what they're doing is objectively wrong. So this is the reality that we live in, is that even though the majority are against misogynists are very good at controlling the game.
So, with all that said, we're left in a difficult position of what solutions to have against this. Mistress Werewolf, do you have any ideas of how we can solve this?
Yes, I'm not going to pretend to have a complete solution, because a complete solution would be very complicated. Having said that, what we're doing so far, or what feminists have suggested so far, of men should just stand up to misogynists, is not working for the reasons already discussed, i.e. that you're up against someone who is using complex psychological mind games, very similar to what a narcissist uses, to win over you all the time. And you're up against someone who is very much prepared to use your loyalties as a weapon. And I think before, Mr. Red, you were saying that, maybe we should just, not give loyalties to these people, but, that can be easier said than done.
Yeah, it is a difficult thing to not give loyalties.
Yeah.
I think the big thing is to not give loyalties when you're not the one attacked. It's when the group is moving against someone else, that person has lost their real ability to fight back against it. But not agreeing with the attacker and the Davoer about this and not putting the extra support into them is a big thing. It's as well as
it's small disagreements.
Small disagreements, and moving against them in small ways so that they begin to feel like this strategy doesn't gain them the loyalty and power that they want, because that's really what they're after. They don't really need agreement on specific issues, they just need agreement. They want that support and power that comes with it.
Yeah, and silence is often taken as agreement, of course, by such types.
So a small step away, I think, is a realistic thing that can be done. Lots of small efforts to gradually suck the air out of this philosophy. I don't think this is an ideal solution. I think it's a step in the right direction. If anyone else has any ideas, I'd love to see them dropped in the doobly-doo. Just please let us know what you think.
What do you think, Shay? I don't think Shay has any idea.
So thanks for watching.